Well, at least we're able to get Mr. Mountain Guards as our client. And we know that he didn't do it, which is very important.
So what should we do?
Well, the trial is tomorrow, and we only get this one chance. There's only one way to prove Mountain Guard's innocence. We have to find the real killer.
Okay, then let's start looking.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in without...
Good morning.
Hold on, it's you! What is going on around here? I heard poor Juan was killed, is that true? It's a bad rerun is what it is. Another steel samurai doing the most evil of deeds.
That's not entirely...
I'll have you know I was a huge fan of Juan's. Why, oh why do all the stars I'm interested in drop one-on-one like flies? It's always been that way, ever since I was a little girl in elementary school. The hamster was fine until it was my turn to clean the page. Every kid started calling me the Queen Raper. Whoever you name and your evil spell dies in...
Actually, I wanted to ask you about the murder and what happened.
Don't push me, boy.
Mr. Nick? I couldn't hear everything she said because she was talking so fast.
Miss Oldbag, could you please speak a little slower?
Don't boss me around, you spiky-haired smarty pants. My dear Hammer died a year ago in that dreadful murder. And only recently did I finally find a star that makes his heart go ba-dump again.
I don't know what to say.
I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket? I'd watch your words. No one's gonna get away with saying anything bad about my Juan.
But I haven't said anything.
Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyway.
Huh? What woman?
That irritating backwater girl with the afro and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be, and why does she never stop? Honestly, women these days, they don't know the meaning of the word modesty. When I was a young maiden, I was so beautiful, even the flowers blushed. But despite this, I pressed flowers or red
pearls. Are you thirsty?
A little.
Okay, I'll go get you some juice or something.
Thank you very much.
Hey, are you paying attention? Yuckets today.
So I'm guessing Miss Oldbag heard everything from Lada. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder.
I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready.
Getting ready? For what?
The show, of course. Well, and the press conference afterwards.
Cue mysterious music for the magic press conference.
Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder.
I see.
But...
But
if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very, very clearly.
What?
I saw the most important moment of the night.
The most important moment? You don't mean...
Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child. When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite. Really, kids today. Please tell me, what did you see? The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't?
Please don't stray into another tangent, please.
If you want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present.
Okay. How absolutely dare you? Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens.
I wonder if we can do any investigating of our own in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, gotta roll up the sleeves and try, I guess.
Hey, you're here! Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer.
Lada, what was your accent again? I don't know, but it's somewhere around here. No, it wasn't. That's the wrong accent. I better just think of somebody like that. That's it. That's around there. Lotta. Hey! Mr. Cop fella! The thief showed his face! What? Arrest him! Put him on trial! Find him guilty! Give him the death penalty! What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling alright? Looked here and there and up and down the manor, but it ain't here! So why don't you just hurry up and give it back to me, you creep?
What are you looking for?
My camera! C-A-M-E-R-A! It's my lifeblood! I'm gonna die without my $700 camera. Your camera? Look, don't lots of people say the criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime? And looky, here you are. Yep, here I am, faced with a lot of trouble.
Huh?
Oh my god. So you lost your camera? It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in the store and it's $1,600 brand new.
Huh? But didn't you just say you bought it for $700?
I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store. About 5 hours, I reckon. I made this itty-bitty scratch on it and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me his talking to and was real mean about it too. He done made me cry at that.
When did you lose your camera?
Last night, after the murder happened. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear darling expensive sweetie. Lotta, what did you capture with that expensive camera of yours? I don't rightly know. I snapped a shot of anything that caught my eye. So I don't remember. And besides, I couldn't get anything from my big scoop. I wonder if Lotta's missing camera is even connected to the murder. That's a weird looking camera. What? The hell is that? Lotta, please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder. Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually, I was here until around the time Mr. Ungard was arrested. What were you doing here? You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever Lotta Hart goes, there's a story to be found. A big scoop to be had. A big scoop? I told you before, I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon, course, that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot. I wonder what scoop she was after this time. Although I was also on the lookout for the other stars that were here, so maybe I wasn't here the entire time. Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop? Well, maybe I was, but that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof? What kind of story was it that you would hang around here? Look, universal hexagram. Oops, sorry, Mr. Law. Can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know. Not again. Why does everyone have something to hide?
We've been stopped, haven't we?
Yeah. Take that, Mr. Lawyer. I'm glad someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and your eye rule smile. I don't know what that line even means. I can move into the hotel rooms, which I'm gonna do. Move into Kurita's room first. I can't be pronouncing his name right. Gotta keep it consistent, but I can't be pronouncing it right.
Mr. Nick, where are we?
We're in Mr. Juan Kurita's room, Pearls.
Mr. Kurita?
The victim, which makes this the crime scene, too. Oh, it's you! So, what's happened? The kidnapper, has he contacted you again? Not yet. He probably won't until we win Mr. Ingard's acquittal. You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there? I just want Maya to be alright. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm gonna help you as much as I can, pal. Can you do that? Even if we want to look around the crime scene? Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you gotta keep quiet. It's my neck on the line here.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Oh, you're giving it to me? Thank you!
When you get lost in a hotel too big for its own good.
Mr. Nick, I got a map!
That's great, Pearls.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Oh, right. Kanji. She can't read kanji yet. Do you know what was the cause of death? Well, technically, the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the scene of the crime should tell you, pal. The scene of the crime? Yeah, here's a picture. There's a knife in his chest. Yeah, pal, that's a murder weapon. So he was stabbed to death. They're looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now.
There were fingerprints on the knife?
Yep. And it looks like they're pretty sure it's Mr. Ungard's prints, pal.
That's bad. Real bad. Why was Mr. Ungard arrested?
Because we had evidence on him.
Evidence?
It looks like the victim, Juan Carita, really put up a big fight.
Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere. Also bears.
Well, yeah, during the fight his button came off.
Mr. Ungard said something about a button. Something like one of the Jama Ninja's buttons got caught in his hakama?
But that's not all.
What?
There was a witness, pal.
A witness? Who is it?
That lady, Miss Oldback.
Please, anyone but her.
The prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something in the crime scene that was a little off.
Something that was a little off?
As in, that's for you to figure out, pal.
Alright, let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick.
Okay. Get lost in the bears. It's time. Bears.
Wow, there are a lot of bears.
Alarm clock ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have?
There's even a few in the trash can.
Yeah, I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears.
Poor bears.
It's hard to bear with all these problems. Grrr. Laughing.
I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused me.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
It's a suitcase. There are so many things in it that I bet it barely closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator.
Do all stars pack too much stuff like Mr. Carita? It's so messy here.
Pearls really likes things neat and tidy, I take it.
There are a lot of electronic things in here that I've never seen before. Hey, Mr. Nick, tell me what they are, pretty please.
Okay, that one over there is a watch. You wear it on your wrist.
I know what a watch is.
Oops, for a second now, I forgot I was talking with Pearls, not Maya. Six-foot bear! Bear! Very intensive! The bear intensifies.
So that's a bed, right?
Yeah, it's big, but it's a bed.
Ah, Mr. Nick, it's so soft!
Big beds must be a rarity for her. The boombox, but we're not going to touch it. What's that bear doing? It looks like Mr. Carita had dinner last night.
This bottle, it's tomato juice.
We had a lot of food at the award show last night, but I wonder if the stars had gone on stage after only eating a meager meal like this one. Tomato juice! Anyway, bottles of cosmetics are scattered across the floor. This is probably where Mr. Kurita fought his assailant.
What's this glass fragment from?
A flower vase, maybe? There are a lot of flowers on the floor, but I don't know what they are.
You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick?
This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange. The guitar isn't here.
Maybe he just forgot to bring it to the show.
But Mystic Maya, she said the bright red guitar was the German ninja's signature item.
That's true. Huh? This guitar case is wet, but it's only wet on top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, right?
It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it.
Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much.
There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from.
But doesn't it seem weird?
What seems weird?
I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor.
She's right. The flower vase was broken, and the makeup is strewn everywhere.
Why is this glass the only thing that's still alright?
It is a question. What can you tell me about this guitar case? Oh, that. This is just what I heard, pal, but that's the German ninja's signature item. The guitar case? No, not that. What do you take me as? I mean, the guitar inside, of course.
But the guitar is missing.
Yeah, we looked for it too. It's not normal for a person to forget to bring their most famous item to an award show. It's starting to sound like that red guitar is related to this case after all. So, about this wine glass. See, you noticed it, pal. The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was untouched. You noticed that too, Detective Gumshoe? No, actually, Miss Van Carmen noticed it first. Yeah, Pearls noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So, does that mean Miss Van Carmen's coming here? Yeah, she's coming. Man, you're gonna be in so much trouble, pal. I think it'd be best if you didn't bump into her here. You can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash.
Well, what's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard the sound somewhere before. It's Miss Von Karma. Whenever I hear that sound, for some reason, she pops out of nowhere and whips me. Come to think of it, that did happen the last time. Sorry, I've got to make myself scarce. Later, pal. Ow!
At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change? So, you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you. Ow! Hey, don't you dare run away, Mr. Scruffy Trenchcoat. Scruffy much trenchcoat. What? That's adorable. Ugh! I didn't think the detective of this country could be so pitiful. Ugh! Detective, come over here for a second.
Yeah! Ow! Shit.
I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment.
He was so scared he just froze up on the spot.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, you have soiled my perfect prosecution record. I'll never forget that. This time,
Victory is mine. Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you? What? Come, Scruffface. The investigation briefing is about to begin. Yes, sir. This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor. Ow. Now what did she throw at me? What is this? Well, I guess this means I'm gonna get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, okay? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you. Rough. Pretty rough. What do we have? Ah, shit. It did the thing. It's still doing the thing. Why is it doing the thing? I'm going back in there. Something was thrown at me. Huh?
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
It's got Mr. Kurita's name written on it, so it's his autograph.
I can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
It's a special way of writing called cursive. Looky here, see how it says "to my dearest Wendy" in more normal letters here?
This sloppy and readable writing. It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone.
Hold on. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. Wait, we've got some information to get, so we might as well get it now while we've got the thing. What did you see on the night of the murder?
Please, Mystic Maya's life is...
Ah, but you haven't given me my present yet. Let's see. I'll only tell it if you can bring me Juan's autograph. What an unreasonable request. You might as well have asked for the moon. But it's so reasonable because I should have gotten that earlier. But I didn't realize. I don't have anything to say to delinquents like you. She's clamming up like the old clam she is.
Please, anything would be helpful.
Well then, how about I just tell you my measurements? No, that's okay, really.
She really doesn't like you, does she, Mr. Nick?
I know, I know. No. Let's try something. Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please tell us what you saw. But oh, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you young uns' expense. Because I'm a little devil after all. Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. Don't do the thing, don't do the thing! But that's Juan's autograph! Yes, it is. And it even says "to my dearest Wendy" on it. But that's me, right? My name is Wendy, old bag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please give it to me. Let me have it, please. Oh, I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Wow, she must really want this autograph.
My offer isn't good enough for you? Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag ready to open up her heart. All this for my dearest Fawn. Is it a Fawn? I think it's a Fawn. Wendy, dearest. Oh god. No. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding. Oh no! It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business. And did you tell that to the police? Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or 2 out of it, maybe more.
Gift certificate?
I've been recruited again for that part of the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty.
But Mr. Ungard hasn't done anything bad.
I don't care about details like that. I know he did my poor Juan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken?
A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like.
I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it. What did Mr. Ungard ever do to her just to deserve this? Ugh. What did Mr. Ungard do to you to make you so... Oh, you don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan.
Mr. Nick!
What is it?
What's a scandal?
Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay? Poor Juan led astray by the wiles of the vile temptress.
Mr. Nick, what do viles and vile temptress mean?
How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about? Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose. His own manager, but why? I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation for the mud. Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag? I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know. And do you have any proof that Mr. Ungard did what he say you did? What you say he did? Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so. Of course. A tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Maybe I should go into that room so we actually meet Adrian, okay? And work out a voice. I remember this background.
Where are we?
We're in Mr. Mattengard's dressing room. This is our client's room. May I help you with something? You're Mr. Ungard's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail. How did you know I'm his lawyer? You were just saying that he's your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer.
Wow.
It's simple deduction, really. The trial is tomorrow, and Mr. Ungard's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, one stop in your mad dash to find clues to build his case, correct? Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either.
It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick.
I'm Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business. Alright. She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving. She's meant to be short. You can't tell because that's generally the eye level everybody gets. For composition's sake. I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct? Yeah, that's correct. And I will tell you. Before the award ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Ungard. In this very room I'm at. Dinner? What did you eat? I told you I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you took a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me. I bet she's a lot of fun at parties. When the award show was starting, I headed for Viola Hall. And after the show ended, you came back to this room. No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby. Oh, preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess. When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. Ungard. After that, I went to visit Mr. Corrida. And that's when he found his body, isn't it?
You really held strong through everything.
Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So, about you and... Stop right there. Don't expect me to believe you have been talking without knowing how we relate. Sorry. I have no idea why Mr. Ungard chose you as his lawyer. Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give you a shoulder rub to relieve your stress later, alright?
I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. Ungard's manager. His manager? Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Corrida, have one? No, he did not. He didn't? Global Studios is a very different policy from Worldwide Studios in that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to stars. I see. This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this, honestly.
You're wrong. I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya.
Pearls, calm down and hang in there. I'll buy you a juice later, alright? So, we just mentioned this lady, actually. Earlier. It's like, there was a thing going on. She was involved. It's doing it again. Why does it do that? Did you know the victim, Mr. Corrida? Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place, after all.
Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai?
Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two competed with each other over the most uninteresting things. If either one of them weren't so stubborn, then maybe no one would have needed to die. I've got a hunch that this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Juan Corrida was killed. Do you have any ideas as to why Mr. Corrida was murdered? Why would you ask me such a thing? I'm just doing my job, so do you have any ideas? Miss Andrews? Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add to this conversation.
Is it a Cyclock, Mr. Nick?
Yeah. There's getting to be more and more of these lately. So many people. I've just got to throw stones in their faces.
Lada, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
What I want to know is, what are the details of the scoop?
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that there's my bread and butter.
Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lada Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Francarita and this person? This woman. She's Adrian Andrews, Matt and Guard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it? You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup. Backup? Yeah. You gotta have that what's it? News sauce? You mean news sauce? This joke doesn't work because we're English. That's it! So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews. I don't have anything at the moment. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. Adventure! What? Did I just walk into an event? I did. Oh, Mr. Wright, how are you? Mr. Powers. Have you been here this entire time? Yeah, people connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave. Oh, man. Can you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show? Okay. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's a sequel to the Steel Samurai. I see. This time there are 3 samurai brothers. Aluminum, tin, and of course the Nickel Samurai. It's a love why Neo Old Tokyo. I see. Wait. A love what? A love why? This girl, Sayo, works at the tea shop and all 3 guys follow her at the exact same time. Oh, I guess the Y shape is like the 3 brothers colliding over this one girl. Anyway, Sayo is actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader. Sounds like an unusual situation. Like Romeo and Juliet, times 3. Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, Pearl?
What happens next? I want to know. Miss Sayo, does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she?
Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
I'm gonna stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theater starting this week.
I can't believe she's really considering it. We'll buy her the DVDs when they come out. We'll TiVo it. What's TiVo? Nobody knows. We'll use Netflix. That's what everybody gets. So, what's the Jammin' Ninja TV show like? Well, it started from a remake of an old movie, to tell you the truth. The Jammin' Ninja is like the samurai shows aimed towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can't climb a wall but becomes a big pop star. What? He was a really lousy ninja. Absolutely couldn't do any ninja things right at all. But boy, could he sing! With his trusty bright red guitar in his hand, he took the ancient world by storm. A ninja? With a bright red guitar? And then the final fight in front of his beloved Princess Misora. Misora? Jammin' versus the Muramachi 5. Suddenly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jammin' cold the night before Battle 3. Ah, that's too bad for him. Yeah, but this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yes, bro?
What happens next? I want to know. The Jammin' Ninja. Will he be able to sing? What about Princess Misora?
Misora. Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
What show should I watch?
I can't believe she's really considering it. Super considering it. It's really popular with the office ladies and the high school girls. They called us so suddenly that something about it just seems off, you know?
You mean the press conference?
Yeah, he said, there's something I'd like to confess if I win. I heard he faxed his request for a conference into the office only yesterday.
Yesterday? Fax? Yeah, that is kind of sudden. Fax?
But I guess his manager set everything up somehow, so he was lucky.
Nice manager.
Hey, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little.
So Mr. Powers likes this type of woman. Well, what do you know about Miss Andrews?
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't really know her, you know? There's sort of a small rumor going around about her right now.
A rumor?
But if you're interested, I can give you a little bit of the details.
He's so happy he looks like a lion that's just found his next meal. Ah, no, I moved the entire stream. God, he's precious. I like him. Would you mind telling me about this gossip?
As you're interested in it too, I figured you would be.
Yeah.
I have such a weakness for celebrity gossip too.
Oh, really? You too, huh?
Yeah, so take a look at this.
Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read.
I don't know what's going on there.
Alright, let me see here. Jamin Midnight Rendezvous?
To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. You see now, don't you?
What?
You can stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. Juan Carita didn't have a manager of his own, which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA...
Adrian Andrews.
Yes, exactly. This is big news.
But it seems kind of odd. That woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of her client?
It's a wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Mr. Powers looks so happy.
Pearls is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling.
Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure.
I don't fucking understand either, actually. But anyway, I'm going to encounter you. Let's see. I have to do the solution all over again, don't I? I think so. I don't know why I felt like singing that, but my brain is just going Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. Doofenshmirtz Luck Incorporated. I don't know. Holy shit, that happened. Monkarita and 80... 88. We've already done most of this. So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews. That's not even the accent. I'm gonna read it. Jam and Midnight Rendezvous, a superstar in an ultra-hot mega-secret love scandal? Reliable source to say that Juan Carita has been getting in close with the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. Sexy. This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jam and Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. Ah! Mr. Carita didn't have a manager of his own,
What's more, his rival, Mr. Unguard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Corrido's door last night. Where? 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 I don't know. Lot of hard. I don't know. Wario. How do you Wario? Nobody knows how to Wario. How do you Wario? Kevin will now insert some kind of Wario call. I've ordered you. You've been ordered. You've been absolutely ordered.
Obey me, Wario.
I don't know. You were looking into Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines, so it's no longer breaking news. What'd you just say? Initials of AA, what kind of big thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do, so that's what I was doing. Getting photos. I say, well, what accent am I even doing?
Oh,
I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, a lot of nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know? But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone.
your note to yourself?
It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now, anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone would steal something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. I have a bunch of things in my pocket. And I know that Adrian is available to talk to. I also know I can go to the Criminal Affairs Department, so I'll go there. We gotta do some background checking! Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight. But, we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight? I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces.
Two?
And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. Unguard. Yep, we found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants. And the second one is? The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Madame Guard's. It's tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well... And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers to blab to anyone. About the mouth to what? I'm so sorry. Mouth of hers. Mouth of horse. Horse mouth, obviously. Her blab knob is stuck on 10 and there's no turning it down. Trust me. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Unguard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way!
shit, that's bad. That's bad. There's something interesting about this woman, pal.
And what is that?
You don't know? Haven't you heard the gossip around her?
Gossip, huh? I wonder if he knows anything about that article.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
The scandal with Mr. Kurita? But why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager.
The victim's manager?
But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Your mentor?
A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case?
Do you want to know more about her, pal? She was the victim's manager, and she was also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. Ah!
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss Von Karma!
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do. Scruffy, you have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye.
But that's...
Wait, please, wait, sir! If I don't get this month's pay, I'll start...
Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
That voice. Edgeworth?
It's been a long time, Wright.
This person... This is Mr. Edgeworth?
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Franziska.
You...
How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You've soiled the Von Karma name and dragged it through the mud. Run away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you're having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never! Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow. In court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same mild mare she always was. I thought you, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, gone and died.
Mr. Nick!
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definite that you lack, and that's the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you'd lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It had been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, if it was Franziska, she would almost definitely say, "I will defeat you this time," the instant she saw me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client. To save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy. For someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. We are looking into leads, but we can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person. Why don't you just tell it to me straight and say I don't have any info on yourself?
Looks like Miss Andrews isn't here.
That's not good. I still have a few questions I wanted to ask her.
And she has that side clock on her heart, right?
Well, we don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later. There's a giant bone sitting on the plate.
I don't really like meat.
There's something weird about this plate. I just wish I could put my finger on what it is. There's some samurai-looking clothes on the sofa here.
That jacket-looking thing is called a happy.
Whatever it is, I'm sure something like that would make a great souvenir. Maya would be absolutely thrilled. Maya would steal props like that. It's probably Miss Drangard's suitcase. For someone who was only going to be here for the award show, this is a lot of stuff. Looks like he has about 3 days worth of clothes in here. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna do that.
Stars really are different from us, aren't they?
That's the bedroom over there.
That's bad. They have really big beds here.
Yes, they do. They do, small child. Okay. I've run away. I've got to do it. Okay. While I was abroad, These deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it?
Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto.
Refreshing? And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze?
Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year.
There's an interesting rumor about this man.
You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? But that's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it?
I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself.
A secret?
You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her.
No, you're right.
This woman is another key to the case.
Do you really think so?
She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but suddenly she was called away by a production and became Juan Carita's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died.
But her death was a suicide, right?
Yes, but there is still one riddle left unsolved.
A riddle?
Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it.
A suicide note that just vanished, huh?
Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it.
The suicide note?
But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very likely. Very high.
But who would hide such a thing?
The police think it was Mr. Juan Carita himself.
The victim?
He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note.
Mr. Carita hid his own manager's suicide note, but why?
As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway.
Part 1? It just says what we're all thinking.
I have no interest in talking about useless evidence. Put a little more thought into what you show me, Phoenix Wright.
Still stuck up as ever. Oh, for God's sake. Something. Not even my badge. I'm offended. I'm gonna look around.
Aw, it's kind of cute. Mr. Nick, what is this stuffed animal's name?
That's the Blue Badger. It was my idea. I made it. It's this precinct's mascot, you know?
Oh, wow.
I'll get him a signed mascot of every police station if it's the last thing I do.
I hope you succeed in your mission, sir.
That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. He must be doing image training for when a fellow officer is injured. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files in each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I expected. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. Okay, please. I have so many questions right now. Necessary ones. But I'll just walk away from you if that's what you need. Hey, the lawyer dude, so what did you find out? Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating. I see. But I've already told you everything I know, dude. What do you think about this article? Huh. If you're talking about her thing with Fawn, I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. And that's it? That's it? That's my manager. Did you meet her? Yeah. What do you think? Strong woman, right? She takes good care of me. You're such a mama's boy.
What's wrong?
How much do you know? What do you mean, how much? Mr. Lawyer, I may be your client, but I hope you'll keep yourself out of my personal life. No, I would never. Now, if you excuse me, I have a lunch appointment I have to keep. You're in detention! Who in the world are you gonna eat with? The security guard?
Mr. Nick?
This Celeste Impacts lady. Somehow I get the feeling she's a very important person in all of this. Come on. Wait. Present to everyone. And hope it works. I'm honored you're asking me, but I have no idea who this person is. I'm sorry. It's okay. You don't have to apologize so much. Sorry. You don't even remember him? Okay. Ba-da-ba-da. It's okay, man. It's okay. Do you know anything? I told you how many times now? I'm a journalist. I got so much info running through my head, I forget things here and there.
Please don't get so worked up over this.
I don't care if you beg me. Be extra tough on kids. That's this gal's motto on learning youngsters. Was it? She's doing all the super remembering stuff, but she's not interested in this story. What do I do? Only got 20 minutes to be able to finish. And I'll stream for 2.5 hours. Yeesh. Oh, why'd I go back here? I don't have anything to say to delinquents like you. Hang on. Ah, boy. Not even on Edgeworth. Small child, I'm disturbed and I don't know what to do. Hey, I have something I want to ask you girls.
Okay, what is it?
Why are you so interested in how Maya and I get along? I mean, she and I don't have anything special going.
What do you mean? But I thought you were Mystic Maya, or I've been mistaken all this time? No way!
Oh, she really wasn't kidding. Pearls actually believes Maya and I are... Maybe I should have just left it alone.
Mr. Nick, stop it! Don't hide your true feelings from me!
Ow! She slapped me. Since there were no Cyclocks, then that means we can trust Mr. Unguard to be innocent.
I really feel much better knowing that. Ever since last night, I was so worried that I kept wondering, what if he is the real killer? What then?
Okay. And tell me what to do. What else do you have to be with this brat? Brat. Horrible person. I don't like to look for reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has two. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. Why didn't you just give me that with the first part? The attempter's name is Adrian Andrews.
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself. You think she's a strong career woman? That is just her image. Adrian Andrews, she has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her codependency. That's the key word. Codependency? The word is most unsuited to describing that woman. I think it's also being used completely wrong, but there we go. Finally, more dialogue. So, how are Adrian Andrews and codependency related? Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax. And? And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Quite possibly because she had lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that...
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is a person who looks for someone she can trust unconditionally. And when she finds that someone, she blindly follows them. Without someone to guide her, she feels uneasy and cannot carry herself through life. And that's her codependency. Well, her dependency, not codependency. When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Don't tell me I'll get part 3 if I do this. Appearances can be deceiving. It's such a cliche saying. But it's cliche because it's true. Miss Andrews. To think that behind that unwavering brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear. I gotta go find her.
Right, this many car trips is not healthy.
Yes, but please, I need to talk to her.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss Von Karma?
What are you doing here?
Oh, well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around.
Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls.
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scrappy? Don't make me laugh. I'll show you something interesting, little girl.
What's that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move.
So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel real sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews?
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
Oh, all right. What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
I'd like to ask you about this. I told you, I hate trifling matters. It's a waste of time to show me things that are of no relevance to me. Wow, this is the first time I've been shut down this badly. Never mind. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Ungard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answer? The truth is I was not that close to Mr. Corrida. You were not that close. That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You're not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow. I highly doubt that. You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see, however, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Need to get close to Mr. Corrida, as if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? Celeste Impacts, your mentor. Why do you know about Celeste? Miss Impacts. She committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knew why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews, there was no mystery surrounding her death, none. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship from nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you're completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. not that. Get a hold of yourself. Huh? If you want advice on doing yourself in, I suggest asking someone like the police. Which translates to go take a long walk off a short pier. There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. I didn't see any of that text, so I can't tell you what it said. Was there really no mystery at all? That's better. Sorry. Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Kurita. What? And, Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Kurita. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor, however, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give, however, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impacts was someone very special to you. I got it right this time. Miss Andrews, you went through it too, didn't you? Went through what? A suicide. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help and you live by yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie. A facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. That's... You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Kurita of hiding Miss Impacts' note. You heard about it and fought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was, why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one most likely to want Mr. Kurita dead. Me? Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder? It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all of that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews, this one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Kurita. Celeste, without her I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Kurita to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they would keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so... I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask you. My attempted suicide, I'd like for you to keep it a secret.
Miss Andrews.
If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. Alright, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the always thinking type. She never says anything carelessly, it seems. Thank you very much.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. You're not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. On guard in your capable hands. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
Well, what about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all of this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no! I'm okay, really. I'm fine, I really am.
You don't look fine to me. I wonder if I should give... Never mind.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impact's a suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Ah, Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello? This is the law office of Wright & Co. I'm so sorry. You're not answering the phone. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not come within a few feet of her this whole time. Ew. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely vanished. What? So I suggest you run a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her! Very well. Ask me. Maya, is that you? Sis, ask my sis. Maya! Damn it, he cut me off.
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come ask me anything you want about her. How's Maya? She's safe, for now. That kidnapper is one to keep his words, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like this. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And she didn't see the face of her attacker. Ugh. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie.
I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go.
I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles in here. And they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. Drat, it's locked. But the store's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff bit of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. That's it! This shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting, or worried.
That was the first 2 days, the investigation section of Farewell My Turnabout. I'll see you next episode. This has been Double Cross. I've been streaming for Last Minute Continue, and I'll see you at a later date. Goodbye.